Hey guys, Libra Coin launches its white paper, so Facebook coming out with more information. Ripple partners with MoneyGram. Is this the end of legacy money and the beginning of the digital revolution? Meanwhile, Bitcoin sees a pullback as alts remain uncertain. All this and more in today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Welcome to Breaking Bitcoin Market Update, recorded live for you, June 18th, 2019, your daily source for market updates, sentiment, and news for the professional traders. Of course, I'm Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at CrackingCryptocurrency.com, your host for today. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from. Thank you so much for all the kind DMs and the emails and the messages this morning. For those of you who were interested, of course, my vacation went fantastic. I had a wonderful time. My children were tolerable. We saw St. Louis. We saw Six Flags. It was a fantastic time. Got some pictures at the top of the arch. Went to the City Museum in St. Louis. If you guys have not been there, that place might be funner than Six Flags. And I'm being completely honest about that. Never have I seen a place that was just designed for absolute fun and hilarity. So check out the City Museum in St. Louis if you guys have not been there. Highly recommend that area. All right, guys. So today's episode of Breaking Bitcoin is brought to you by us. If you are a new trader or an experienced trader looking for something better and you want a system that works in all market conditions, make sure to check out our premium info page and see all that we have to offer. Proprietary indicators and strategies, our Pathways to Profit strategy building course designed to teach you how to build a trend following system that works in all market conditions. Educational content, both in video and audio form, as well as reliable setups from our traders and analysts. All that and more at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That's premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. All right. Quick update on the trading group. So for those of you guys who missed it, we did parameter optimization last night. So for the indicators that we use, there are going to be times when we update our indicator settings to be faster or slower or somewhere in between based on current market conditions. We're going to update our parameters. We're going to optimize our parameters from time to time to get the best results from the market. So we did some parameter optimization last night. So if you are in the group and you missed that, make sure to go back to the Premium Signals channel last night and make sure that you get the correct settings moving forward until further notice for the parameter optimizations. Okay, the last video of the current module was published on Friday, as I said before I left for my vacation. Of course, that was going to be strategy testing in TradingView using Pine code. So it's a primer on how to build your first strategy tester or your first strategy in Pine. I walk through all the basic concepts. I walk through troubleshooting, and then I also teach how you can take the structure that you've built and how to incorporate any other indicator that you can find on TradingView, plug it into your system, and design a strategy around it. The complicated part, and most people don't know how to use TradingView's strategy tester appropriately. This is why you're going to see so many skewed results for, profit potential, or for win-loss ratio, or for actual net profit, because most people don't actually factor in things that they should be factoring in. They just don't know how to write the code programmatically. And even those who are experienced in programming can have difficulty as well, because Pine is a proprietary operating language. So again, maybe I have a benefit because I don't know any other programming. I obviously I know HTML and CSS and I know how to do website stuff, but that's not my strength. That's not my background. My background is trading and money management. So I've learned Pine, I've taught myself Pine, and because of that, I have knowledge that other people might not have, because other people might approach the area with some bias. So the video is live. I think that was a big hit. It helped a lot of people out. I already received a lot of messages about how from members about how helpful that was for them. So we're going to be getting more advanced with Pine as we proceed through the modules. And what I'm going to be working on now for the big project this week is some quality of life optimizations for the advanced position size calculator and trading journal spreadsheet that I launched last week for all the members. And moving forward, I'm going to be working on the next module for PTP, getting into the next component of our system. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Oh, I want to let you guys know that the ByBit trading competition for our group is going to be going live next week. So registration is now open. If you are interested in participating in the trading competition on ByBit with us, just a friendly competition. There will be some prizes, but just a good way to kind of commune as a group, to, have a little competition. It's always fun. It always boosts your skills when you feel you're being weighted against somebody else. You guys can sign up with our referral link at bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. bybit.com. That's bybit.krakencryptocurrency.com. And get a hold of me in the Discord. I need your UID. That's your user ID from your ByBit account. And I will add you to the trading competition. We're going to have a leaderboard, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Moving right along. Of course, thank you to our current Discord Nitro boosters. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I need to check the numbers. I think we still need 2 more. So if you guys have Discord Nitro and you want to help our Discord server out, just help us out with our community. You can, of course, boost our Discord server. I would be very grateful. Thank you so much to all the current boosters. You guys are absolutely fantastic. The MMO marketplace. You guys are familiar with MMO Pro, mmopro.org. They have a marketplace. Actually, we have our trading group that you can purchase as a service from the MMO marketplace. They have other goods and services as well that you can purchase with cryptocurrency. They're going to be adding Bitcoin payments to their marketplace. So further updates on that going forward. You guys can find out all the information about MMO Coin at mmopro.org. ByBit's had some updates. They have added post only and a better feature to actually show your unrealized P&L based off of last traded price, not just closing out at limit price. You guys can go check that out on the ByBit blog. And of course, the last comment winner. Sorry that we couldn't do the show yesterday, but the last comment winner was BPazger. So if you are BPazger, hit me up in the Discord. I did get a Discord DM, but it was only the first message. They said, "Hey, I won the giveaway, the crypto giveaway. So what should I do?" They get a hold of me in the Discord, but you haven't responded back to my DM. So if that was you, sir, reply back to me. So anyways, we're going to get into the market today. We've got a lot of exciting news to go over, and obviously I am chomping at the bit to get back into the markets and put some new trades in. Last night was the first night from my vacation that I actually put some new positions on. Put 2 new positions on last night. And we're going to see how those play out for the rest of the week. Nothing insofar as anything has happened. No take profits have been hit. No stop losses have been hit. No early exits. Of course, I'm going to do my daily scan this evening and see what new trades come up. And I'm kind of excited to incorporate the concepts that our members have been cooking up into the advanced position size calculator and trading journal. Not really so much. Nothing really needs to be done insofar as the position size calculator because the mathematics of that are universal. However, the trading journal updates, some people take stuff that you have to understand. I'm a fairly basic person. I pay very close attention in detail and keep very meticulous journals and logs. But I guess from the view of some people, I would be somewhat of a Luddite because I've incorporated technology into my system slowly. I still backtest indicators by hand. I still manually go through and do my daily scan every single night. I know a few people have automated that process to some degree. And there's just varying levels of what I'm comfortable with, for example. So, still a manual trader. I think that manual trading has a lot of benefits over automation. There are certain things that can be automated, but again, I've made my living as a manual trader, and I'm only 31, and I've been doing this for quite a while, so I plan on continuing to do that for the rest of my life. I think there will always be things that manual traders are going to be able to do better than some automated systems. Can some things be automated? Yes, I'm sure they can, and I'm excited. So one of the nice things about our group is that everybody is coming up with concepts and communicating and developing things independent based on the same structure, based on the same system. We all speak the same language. We all speak PTP. And that's what's the beautiful thing, that is a beautiful thing, about having a universal system, about a system that works the same. However, your application of that system might be slightly different. So everybody works together and helps everybody else hone their indicators, hone their strategies, hone their settings, just with all the tools that we use. So for example, the advanced position size calculator and the trading journal. There's a lot of things that I did that are kind of manual by hand. And some people in the group have come up with some fantastic ways to automate certain aspects of that process and just make workflow a little easier. And I'm excited. Anything that optimizes my time and efficiency is something that I'm very excited about and something that I'm always on. So looking forward to those. I'll keep you guys updated as we move forward. So let's get into the markets and let's look at some charts, guys. Okay. All right, and here we are on the live scene, taking a look at BTC USD on the Bitstamp chart. Let's take Quadrigo off for just a hot second. And by the way, while I get into this, let me say hello to the people coming into the chat. Zach Coma, good to see you. Bitcoin Millionaire, Freeman's Cryptoverse, Stephen Hyatt, Light Rainy. Thank you guys so much. The beard is looking majestic. I actually had an existential thought over the weekend that I was going to trim it down because for some reason, never really had. There was one time where I did have a beard when I was younger, but for some reason, I like it, but the shorter look has always been me. So, let me know, guys. Let me know. I like it, but I did have an existential thought to cut it off. I think it was going up to the St. Louis Arch. I was like, if this is the last image of me going out, I'd prefer to be close crop. But anyways, who knows? Blockchain Gains, good to see you, brother. All right. Eli back. Blarg's Hero, MT Coiner. Roy Coin says, I got a little tan going on. Yes, I did get a little tan. Six Flags. St. Louis was pretty hot on me walking down the streets. It was a good time. Gabe Anderson, Sam Gould, good to see you guys as well. All right, so here we are on the live scene, BTC USD. Let's take a look. Now, interestingly enough, if we go back over here to the 12th, did get a long signal from Minx. Not confirmed, if you guys will recall, not confirmed at that point in time. Why? Because even with, by the way, we're using the sped up settings on Wadatar Explosion. Ron Legato, you didn't miss anything, man. You didn't miss no show. You are here, man. You can see that signal did confirm on the 13th of June, 2019. Now, if we take a look, there was a very small sliver of opportunity for us to catch a pullback on this particular trade, June 15th. Now, so what I mean to say with all this is that insofar as my trading, I didn't take a leverage position to the upside on Bitcoin or Ethereum, just as I said I wasn't going to on Friday when I left. However, I was no longer in my 1x short. I was sitting in Bitcoin. So this movement to the upside, it's just nice to come home after a vacation and see the USD value of everything rising. Had there been some kind of significant movement in price, then I would have had to log in externally and do some changes to my accounts, which is kind of the nice thing about living in the digital age. However, nothing was necessary, and we just saw the price of Bitcoin appreciate over the weekend and yesterday as well. So yesterday, having a nice pop-up, let's see what the high of yesterday's candle was, having a nice pop-up up to 94.7770, of course, here on the Bitstamp chart. And this is something that's, this is one of the things I want to point out, because I saw an interesting video that somebody sent to me the other day. And this is a topic that I have to cover so, just so often, because it used to be the way that I always thought about trading. And we have to understand where this mentality comes from. So let's double back just a little bit and talk about what am I talking about in the first place. And this is the concept of trading reversals, okay, of trading reversals. If you are in the cryptocurrency space, and if you are consuming the information that most of the other educators, traders, analysts, whatever, and even not people who are actively involved in trading, but everybody always wants to speculate on the price of cryptocurrency, just like everybody always wants to speculate about the price of things like Facebook or Apple or the S&P 500, who have never made a trade in their lives or only have something like an investment portfolio or are not an active trader. So their mentality, their thought process about how to trade or what moves trading or how a retail trader can actually profit in this space is very skewed. And I don't think that they generally have very good information for individuals. Again, this is why I started cracking cryptocurrency in the first place, because I am a professional trader and asset manager. I make my living every single day trading these markets. I have skin in the game. In fact, should I underperform in the way that I trade the markets, I lose skin, okay? Because I have kids, because I am a father, and my children and my entire lifestyle is built around my successful application of my trading concepts and strategies in the active marketplace, okay? And that's seen a variety of different applications, whether that was in equity, whether that was in Forex, or whether it is currently now in cryptocurrency. Moving back into Forex, though, here towards the end of August, I believe, is the current schedule that we have. It's going to be August or September. I've already worked things out. I already have my broker chosen. I already have the exact capital allocation I will apply. There are just other projects that I need to knock out so that I can incorporate that extra time into my daily scan, because we've already made the concept that we're going to be adding Coinbase USD pairs. Now, with the news of Binance, we have to potentially look at adding Wabi Pro, so HBUS, previously known as HBUS, the exchange formerly known as HBUS, into our daily scan as well in the coins that we're going to provide signals and setups and actively trade on ourselves. So here's the concept. Let's take this all the way back down. And this is the idea of trading like a whale or trading like a market mover, okay? Or trading like a market maker is another way that you're going to hear this concept applied. And this is the idea. And there are other channels out here that just do nothing but promote this concept. This is the way to trade. This is how you should trade. This is the way. This is what you should look for. This is where you should set your orders. And in my professional opinion, 90% of individuals who attempt to trade this way are going to fail, because if you are not a whale, you cannot trade like a whale, because you cannot predict the activities of other market participants. So you're going to have a system that when it works pretty good. But when it doesn't work, which is going to be the preponderance of the time, you are going to fail, because typically there's going to be very little risk management calculated into the system. This is just my experience from seeing what other educators say, seeing what other traders say. And keep in mind, I am by no means the best trader in the world. I am just good enough to make a living off of it. So I can only speak from my personal experience and my opinion about what I've seen be successful, what I know has been successful for myself, and what I've seen be absolute garbage that just needs to be discarded. So, reversals, trading reversals, targeting areas in the market that you have been taught to believe are liquidity pools or liquidity zones. So areas where there's going to be a lot of stop losses placed, areas where there's going to be a lot of supply and demand imbalance. Now let's go through this. Are those areas, do they exist? Absolutely. Do those areas move the market? 100%. Can you accurately identify those areas with a degree of certainty? Not in my experience. And that is the crux of the matter, all right? So identifying what area is going to be for a retail trader, right? Now keep in mind for a retail trader, which is going to be, I'm assuming, just about everybody watching this channel, myself as well. So for a retail trader who is not moving the market, so let's assume by this that you have less than 5% of the entire cap or volume of the exchange and pair that you're trading on, right? If you have less than 5 to 10% of the total volume of that underlying asset on that exchange, then you are not moving the market. Now, you're moving the market in totality with your actions as the herd mentality of as are the herding actions of other individuals as well. However, you are not moving the market based on your individual transaction in the order book on the recent trades list, okay? Now, somebody who has 5 to 10% of the volume of a coin, on the other hand, they are actively, if they market sell, the market is going to significantly make a movement down, which is going to trigger other activities. You're going to get a waterfall effect. Now, these levels are based off technicals, assuredly. These levels are not chosen randomly. However, the idea that a individual retail trader can, and let me make this very, very clear, over years, turn that concept into a profitable strategy is a pipe dream for 90% of people who try to do it, okay? There are going to be a small percentage of traders who are able to successfully execute such a strategy. However, the failure rate is so high and the propensity for downside is so large that in general, it's not going to be a strategy that most of you are going to find successful. And again, I implore you, I don't implore you, I urge you to just go test these things for yourself. Before you put significant amounts of capital into the market, make sure that you have back-tested and forward-tested a reliable strategy that you know, when you calculate all the dollars and cents out, leaves you with a positive equity curve at the end of the year. Because you do not want to get into the system. You don't want to get into the trading, into the market, and build a bias around your head. This is what most traders do. Most traders jump into the market. They're kind of willy-nilly hopping around. They don't have good structure. And then because of that, they end up kind of making money doing this thing, kind of losing money doing this thing. And so they build up this ad hoc strategy of trading that is not systemic, that is not fundamental, that doesn't really have solid ground. And then when the time comes for them to just completely take a step back and start implementing a full-bodied strategy like PTP, for example, it's often difficult for them to, because they're unable to unchain themselves from these concepts that they've picked up willy-nilly that don't really have statistical verification, because most people just kind of react in the moment and they don't take a step back, evaluate, plan, strategize, strategy build, and develop a systemic method of trading that works generally in all market conditions. So what does that mean? This candle right here is what I mean. This is going to be an area where a lot of individuals attempted to go short, because the concept is this is liquidity pool above a recent high. We're going to tap liquidity. And keep in mind, this is a way that I've traded for a long time. So I understand these concepts and I've taken trades like this myself. In fact, I will continue to take trades like this once in a while, but they are not my core strategy. They are not the way that I teach. They are not the way that I on a daily basis do business. I am a trend following trader. So for example, this trade right here would not be one that I would be looking for to try to catch this wick and take it to the downside, unless it was a discretionary trade, which again, I do put on from time to time. But the point of the matter is I understand its drawbacks. I understand its limitations. I understand its dangers. So what is that going to mean? When I go into position sizing, that is going to play a significant role. And the quantity of trades like this that I would or would not, that I would take are going to be significantly limited, as opposed to me taking every single signal that my system gives me, which is going to be a trend following signal. These are the trades that I'm interested in. All right. I'm interested in catching an established trend. I'm interested in seeing volume to generate that trend. And I'm interested in all my indicators coming together and communicating to me that statistically through my back testing and current testing, well, not current testing, it's actual current trading, so live results, that this is a movement in the market. This is a pattern that has a high probability of appreciating more, and that is a valid trade to take. Everything needs to be strategic. Your entry, the way that you exit, the way that you position size. And if you do not have a firm system, you're not going to be doing this for a long time. There are people who come in and they're kind of willy-nilly and they make some money and then they generally almost always burn out. If you just go ahead and track their trading career over a year or longer. So, having said all that, let's talk about some technical analysis, guys. So here we are, Bitcoin currently trading at 89.17 on the Bitstamp chart. Oh, up at 72 cents, 50-cent pump. Anyways. Price above the baseline, bullish. Minx above the zero line, bullish. WADA explosion, rising explosion level, and printing green columns, bullish. Volume is quite nice as well. Now, if we take a look at the volume on this candle, so this inverted hammer candle, or some people are going to call it a gravestone doji. It's not really a gravestone doji, whatever you want to call it. This is the movement that I'm talking about because a lot of people invariably went short on this candle. And then what did we have immediately following that? We had a squeeze of those positions and now price is moving down. So any shorts that entered here, for example, or any shorts that entered here, assured that price is going to go down because this is educated. People are told this is a reversal candlestick pattern. When you see an inverted hammer like this, or when you see a gravestone doji of this type, that you're going to see a shooting star pattern and price is going to continue to the downside. What happened in cryptocurrency, or what happened in this particular movement? Anybody that was taking that information most likely got squeezed out of their positions as price pushed up from an open of 89.73 and hit its close at 93.33, hitting a high again of 94.77. So even higher than the high of this candle that closed traditionally, candlestick analysis wise, bearish. So those shorts have been kicked out of their positions. Meanwhile, liquidity has been pushed into the traders who actually wanted to push price to the downside. And again, price down about $400 from that peak, actually a little bit closer to $5. So currently trading it again at 89.72 above the baseline. WADA explosion bullish. Is there any signal to take a long trade at this point in time? No, there's not. Now let's take a look at some things. Minx, which is going to be our sensitive indicator, is actually throwing up a TPL. That is a take profit long. That is telling you to take your profits on any long position that you might have had. Again, let's look at something that is a little less sensitive that I've displayed many times on stream, which is the relative vigor index. I think this is quite a good exit indicator if you do not have one. This is not the one that I use, but it is quite good. And the concept is quite similar. So RVGI, again, settings of 8. I speed it up a little bit. I've gone back and forth between 6 and 8. I feel that 6 is just too sensitive. 8 works quite well. And the downside that you're going to get on a few trades where it's going to take more profit from you by not getting you out early enough is going to be balanced by the fact that it ends up keeping you in more trades than something which is very sensitive, for example, like Minx will do for you, because Minx is a very sensitive early exit system. So RVGI not crossing to the downside. The way that this works, ladies and gentlemen, is when the green line, which is the fast line, crosses underneath the red line, then that is a signal to exit your trade. This is something that you only want to throw on when you're in an active position and you are looking to get out of your position. Okay, let's take a look at a few other things. What I've been kind of watching closely, obviously, is the interplay between the daily 55 and the daily 13 exponential moving average. Waiting, now if we go back to the last crossover that we actually had. Now, let's go back in time just a little bit, and let's go talk about price action at the end of February, okay? Now, as most people will recall who have been watching the stream for a while, the 22nd of February 2019, you guys are free to go back and watch the videos. I was short on this movement, okay? I caught this entire movement to the downside. And here's the thing. Let's talk about this. This is one of those few examples that I was just talking about where I am okay from time to time taking... Sorry about that. Where I am okay from time to time taking a reversal or discretionary trade. Now, there are certain ways that needs to be done. There are certain things that I look for. And again, when it comes to the proportion of longs to short trades that I will take, when it comes to the proportion of reversals or trend following trades that I will take, it's always going to be heavily weighted to the trend following. Armacida, St. Louis. Hope you enjoyed your time here. Thank you, man. Is that where you're from? It was a good time. I really like the city, man. Like going on the cobblestones. On 799. Good to see you, man. I did have a good weekend, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, Floyd. At this situation, we actually did have a 1355 exponential moving average crossover. It actually occurred on the 21st of February. 22nd, we had a nice movement to the upside, and then price pulled back down to the 55 exponential moving average. And except for the 3rd of March, basically held that level, and we've been above the 55 exponential moving average ever since. So this is going to be a magnet eventually for when price does break the baseline. We were looking for it to happen on this movement. Did not happen. We ended up consolidating beneath the exponential, or beneath our baseline, and then price put in another period of bullish appreciation. Now, if you're looking at this from the lens of a reversal trader, have we grabbed liquidity above our recent highs? I would say that, and again, you guys know how I feel about patterns, because one of the memes that was being painted was, of course, price is forming a head and shoulders. Now it's kind of more like a head and neck of the shoulders. I don't know what you really want to call that. Kind of looks like something out of a Clive Barker movie, but anyways, the head and shoulders pattern, as is commonly painted by, I would say, newer traders, has been invalidated. That doesn't mean, actually, typically what you will see is patterns be invalidated and then complete. So people are going to be like, oh, look at this bull flag, or look at this triangle, and then it gets invalidated, and they're like, oh, okay, so that's not valid, and then it does exactly what they thought they were going to do. For example. We gotta put a request segment on here. Zcash. Tom Hardy. Yes, man, thank you so much. He's back with his wise words of smile. Hope you had a good time, man. Can you take a look at Zcash when you get 5? I got Zcash on the request list. Thank you, man. Roy Coin, is time transformation coming for free since you're using Minx now? I am using Minx. However, there are a lot of members in the group who are using time transformation actually for reversals on lower time frames, because again, that was my original intention with it way back in the day when I developed it, and then I incorporated it as my main PTP indicator, which was superseded by Minx. So not at this time, because there are still so many people that are using it, and I want to make sure that they're what's the word I'm looking for, that they're getting value for what they purchased in the first place. Okay, let's move into, however, I do have plans to make a regular Fisher transform indicator. The reason that I wrote my own in the first place, the reason that I actually wrote my own and then modified the code extensively to get what time transformation is, because it's a different mathematical interpretation of Eller's original formula, is because I don't really like the ones on TradingView. Now, there's nothing wrong with them, right? It's not that they're bad indicators. It's just that I take indicators and I make them better through lots and lots and lots of tweaking and testing and strategizing. So I'm going to do the same thing for the Fisher transform indicator, and I'm going to make a CC Fisher transform that is going to be free and public to use. It's not really, really high on my priority list right now. It is on my board, but I've got other stuff that I need to knock out before I'm going to have time and opportunity to do that. Light Rainy, we'll take a look at BAT for you as well. And if I sound a little funny, it's because I had a filling done this morning. So right here, take pretty good care of my teeth, but apparently one just kind of like snuck in there. And you just excise it and keep moving on. Anyways, guys, enough about my mouth. Let's talk about Bitcoin's price. Okay, so I'm actually not going to be doing anything with Bitcoin. I'm still sitting in Bitcoin. There's no reason to exit Bitcoin. Could we have a pullback? Well, we'll talk about that after the 13, after we close below the 13. I don't see any indication to do anything right now. So I'm glad that I moved into Bitcoin before my vacation. I'm coming back. I got back in last night, later than I expected. Again, children, sorry for the delay, guys. And until I get a signal from my system, I'm not going to be doing anything with Bitcoin. This movement to the upside was valid here, but again, this is one that just by the books would have been difficult for PTP to catch. I mean, it's caught just about everyone previously. But if we look at how actually the specifics of this played out, I mean, you would have had to get this pullback in the moment. And that's one of those things that we don't typically do is predict how far price may or may not go. We're typically looking for closes back within our qualifying line. So even with sped up settings, Wadatar did not confirm this movement. But again, I know individuals that are using other systems as well. And again, I know guys in the group that actually took this trade. So shout out to you guys. It was a good trade. It ended up being a good trade. Just make sure that even if you profited on a trade, that you didn't break your system to take the trade, because breaking your system and going against what you normally do, see, this is how most people are going to view it. They're like, well, anything that would let me capture it, this movement is worth breaking the system because I'll just follow the system every other time. If you start using such ex post facto logic to justify why you are not following your system, you're going to have a bad time. You have to follow your system or it's not a system. If you don't trade the way that you have constructed your entire strategy to work, then you don't have a system. You have to respect the rules. You have to respect the rules. And sometimes that means you miss a trade. What you don't miss is the opportunity to be a professional trader for life, or to have control of your finances for life. Individuals who are worried about short-term gain over long-term sustainability do not make it in this space, just as they do not make it in life, okay? Everybody that rushed in 2018 to buy cryptocurrency, or the end of 2017 to buy cryptocurrency, almost universally got absolutely wrecked. And less than 1% of those people, I don't know, I'm not exactly, I don't want to throw that statistic out there. I know that the statistic of traders that win and lose is high. I'm not sure that everybody that bought in 2018 exited. We know a lot of them did, because they didn't have a systemic plan on how to deal with their trading over time, how to deal with their investments over time. So those who play the long game and those who develop a system will always be here, while those who focus on the short term will come in and go out, and then other people will come back in and go out. And you don't want to be one of those people. You want to be the person who shows up because you want to be here, you know why you're here, and you are ready to put in the work. You're ready to put in the work to trade for a lifetime. And I really love that comment, Radio. Thank you so much. He says, missed this movement because it didn't fit my system. No regrets. 100%, Radio. Thank you so much, man. Great comment. Nigu, Mahai, thanks. Hey, what's going on? Okay, so nothing to do with Bitcoin, guys. We'll see how price evolves over the next few days. This was not really a trade that I would have caught. I caught the 1x movement to the upside just by dint of exiting my 1x short, because that's what I do when price is back above the baseline. And so things are looking good. Things are looking good. My USD value has risen. My BTC value has risen due to my alt trades. So there's really nothing to do here with BTC. Now let's go take a look at Ethereum. Obviously, Ethereum putting in more volatility. Let's get rid of Quadrigo and let's just take a look at what we see here. All right, so with ETH, we have, again, kind of the same thing. So if we look at our sped up settings on WADA, we can actually see the long signal here on the 11th of June, and then the pullback down on the 12th would have been a valid trade to take, as would the limit buy at the baseline as well. And now I actually know at least 10, because I get a lot of DMs, at least 10 guys in the group who actually took this trade themselves. This was the trade that they took. They took the reversal trade, beautiful reversal trade, came down, hit the baseline beautifully, 100% on the mark, and they took that trade. A couple of them actually took the trade on the close of this candle, because again, that's one of the few ways that we can take reversals in PTP. So let's take a look at Quadrigo and let's see how those traders did. Anybody that took the trade here hit, depending on if they were using the qualifying line as TP1, which is not 100%, but that's acceptable, would have hit TP1 and let's see here, and are still in the trade right now. Anybody that took the trade here would have hit TP1 and not TP2. Let's see, it would be right here. No, not TP2. So again, either take profit 1 on either candle that you entered. Either way, the trade is a no loss trade, and you are still well above your entry level. Now, should price close below the baseline, you'll be exiting your position, or should RVGI cross under, or whatever exit indicator that you're using cross under, you will be getting out of your trade. So there's nothing to do right now with Ethereum except hold on to your position. We don't have a close below. This is a pullback to the baseline. Now, is this a signal to go long in and of itself? No. In my estimation, these are only good one time. The reversal is only good one time. Now, does that mean that the trade will not pan out? It doesn't mean that, because it absolutely could. Pullbacks in a bullish market are traditionally, from a trend following perspective, the right time to enter into the trade. So if you do that, that's absolutely fine. However, you want to be cautious about doing that right now, in my estimation. This is not a trade I'm going to be taking. I'm not going to be taking long on Ethereum. I can patiently wait to get a continuation signal from Minx, because Minx is, again, sensitive and will give me that continuation signal, whether I have to wait for a day or whether I have to wait for 3 days. I know that statistically, if I just wait for the signal to go instead of trying to jump in and do things extemporaneously, then I will profit in the long run, as I have continued to do throughout my trading career. So nothing to do on Ethereum, in my estimation, honestly. Now, a little bit different, but not too different, I would say, from Bitcoin. So let's take a look. Actually, with Ethereum, it's more of a clear-cut case of horizontal resistance. Ethereum did not put in that sweep of highs, as you're going to hear from the Twitter, from the ICT trader Dante camp, sweeping. So sweeping liquidity above highs and lows popular Forex concept, popular market concept in reversal trading, period. But supply demand trading is the the trading philosophy school that it comes from. However, I digress. As we can see, if we go back over to Bitcoin and just look at what it did, we can see that Bitcoin quite convincingly and quite authoritatively swept the highs, grabbed liquidity before pulling back. Now, we haven't had a drastic pullback, and typically, well, not typically, but absolutely, you would want to see, and again, this is why this stuff really only works in hindsight, to be quite honest with you. You would need to see a massive movement to the downside. And then people will be in hindsight saying, hey, look, man, look at how we grabbed liquidity and then we just absolutely dumped, man. That's 100% the total way to trade. Okay. If somebody comes to you with that argument and uses that argument to justify reversal trading, I will show you 100 situations in which having that concept in your head would have got you nothing but wrecked. So again, it's not a concept, it's not a strategy, it's not a trading style that's going to work for most people. And I know, and I think that's why the people that are against the way that I trade or say that for some reason it doesn't work, but again, they've never traded the way that I trade, so they're just absolutely invalid, have no leg to stand on, because they've never done things the way that I do things. This is, again, I was talking about this concept earlier. When you kind of jump into trading, and so your concepts are willy-nilly and not really strategic, and because of that, you develop bias, because something that works for you sometimes is better than not knowing anything to do. So you kind of hold on to that. You know, people feel the same way about religion. People feel the same way about familial relationships. People feel the same way about, relationships in general, honestly, is that they get attached to something because it's all that they know, and it's the only thing that they know that gives them some form of dopamine. And because of that, it's very hard for them to logically disassociate themselves from concepts that are just not statistically valid. When I say 1x, is there any difference than simply going long? Yes. When you go long on an inverse futures contract, you are by nature going 2x long because you already hold the underlying asset. So just sitting in Bitcoin on an inverse futures contract, for example, is going 1x long. So whenever you're holding Bitcoin, you are 1x long. Okay. And this is why, hey, what's going on? 2 Proto Live. Whenever you go short on, whenever you go 1x short, let's just talk about ByBit. Whenever you go 1x short on ByBit, you are hedged. You are now sitting in cash. Doesn't matter whether price goes up. Doesn't matter whether price goes down. Your USD value of your cryptocurrency, of your Bitcoin, is locked in because it's an inverse futures contract. So, bro fist to you, Floydy and Armacida. Yes, sir. I really like those cobblestone streets, dude. There's something about it. I was driving the 2019 Ford Expedition down there. Not mine. Chill out. All right. I don't ball like that. But it was a really nice ride to take. How many Bitcoin miners does it take to change one light bulb? The answer is 100,000. One to do it and the rest to confirm he did it. Thank you, man. That's a good one. That is going in the pickup lines. Hey, baby, how many Bitcoin miners does it take to screw in a light bulb? Because you are confirming through my mind. Anyways. I don't know what the heck that's from. Okay, so nothing to do on Ethereum. Nothing to do on Bitcoin, really, to be quite honest with you. And again, the key takeaway that I noticed here between Bitcoin and Ethereum is that Ethereum did not put in that liquidity grab. Ethereum did not sweep the highs, did not grab liquidity. So the argument could be made, I guess, from that school of thought that we do have a pump in Ethereum to see, because typically if we are going to see a reversal of trend after this long period of consolidation, you could just see Ethereum just overall just going absolutely sideways for quite a while now. Typically, you are going to see a clearing of the highs, just like we saw here. So price, as we can see on this long-legged doji, it's not really a long-legged doji. It's more of a spinning top doji with really, really long tops, but I digress. Price cleared, grabbed liquidity, made a higher high, and then price moved down. Price moved significantly down from that high. Just as on the movement to the down, not really here on the movement to the downside. Price didn't really clear this low, but again, so just taking this logical train of thought further, okay, well, which support are the whales really sitting at? Which low are the stop losses really at? See, questions like this is why I designed PTP in the first place, because it doesn't matter. We don't trade this way. We absolutely just do not trade this way. I already tried that pickup line with my wife, and she wants to divorce me, and she demands half of my crypto, man. So I gave her half of my secret key. There you go, man. Stick it to the man, or in this case, the woman. All right. That's good, man. What is HODL? I keep seeing commercials about it on YouTube for eToro. Yeah. So that's a funny story. So there was, he's Irish on Twitter. He made a famous tweet that just kind of became a meme. And basically he was kind of a drunk Irishman. And again, not stereotyping because it's not like, all Irishmen are drunks, but, he was just, he was a trader. This was back in, I want to say it was like 2014, 2015. It was a couple years ago. And he basically says, everybody is just great at trading and I suck. So I am done trading. I am just gonna hodl. And he was just drunk and he mistyped, hold. He's like, I'm just gonna hold. So he mistyped hodl, just like with CZ from Binance. CZ mistyped safe, Safu. So now everybody says the funds are Safu, Safu, whatever you want to say. So that's the origin of the word hodl. It just means hold, man. It just means like hold on to your Bitcoin. People say it means hold on for dear life. It doesn't. It's just a mistyping of the word hold. Two Pro Live says there's a 15 million buy wall on BitMEX. Can I ask if you have any open positions at this moment? Not on Bitcoin and not on Ethereum, no. I just came back from vacation. I just got in last night and no signals to go long or short. However, I am sitting in Bitcoin, but I'm not in a leveraged position on BitMEX. And again, I don't trade Bitcoin on BitMEX. I trade Bitcoin on ByBit. But yes, again, stuff that would not factor into my trade one way whatsoever. Comes from poker. Do I hold any BNB? Yes, a small amount for trading fees, yeah. But I don't have any position on BNB. Okay, let's see here. So done with Bitcoin, done with Ethereum. Again, the only trade... Connor Devlin, hey, what's going on? Is your website a good place to check out for more guidance on trading and the market in general? Texas HODL. Yeah, Connor, it's not a bad resource. Generally, the website is going to act as a hub to access all our resources and information. I would say that that's a great place to go to find where to go. But the best resources that I can point you into is our Trading Crypto 101 playlists. You can go watch back episodes of this show. You can also go check out the Breaking Bitcoin podcast if you just prefer to listen to us in audio form. I know a lot of people do that. You can check out the Breaking Bitcoin informational page on the website. Or you can just go to breakingbitcoin.crackencryptocurrency.com. Or the best recommendation that I have is to join the Discord, discord.crackencryptocurrency.com. We got traders in there. We've got analysts in there in the free section. It's a great resource. I've met so many good people in there, so many good friends. Yeah, I got Zcash on my request list, guys. So it is 1246. It's 1246. So let's see here. Oh, by the way, just a little quality of life update. If anybody is interested in helping us out with the live show to do timestamps for our daily videos, get a hold of me in the Discord. And hopefully we can arrive at something that is mutually beneficial for both ourselves, because we'd like somebody to do timestamps, and for you for putting in the time, effort, and energy into doing it. People had to type hold fast in the chat, and it came out HODL. Yeah, I got you. So I've got some requests for... Hey, thank you so much to Proto Live. Appreciate the follow on Twitch there, my good friend. Welcome to the community. Let's see here. So we've got to do traditional markets and Forex, and then we'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll do requests and news, and we'll look at some live charts. So let's head over here to this scene, and let's get into traditional markets. Let's look in the S&P. Doing amazing. Again, we called for a long on the S&P. Let's go to Quadrigo ATR. We called for a long on the S&P back here on the 5th of June. This would have been a long trade that we would have taken. Again, this is the CFD on a Wanda. This is the brokerage where I trade Forex. Of course, I'm not allowed to trade CFDs being in the United States. That's why, as I've said many times, when I get back into trading Forex, there are traditional assets I'd like to trade CFDs on. I will be looking to move my trading offshore. So S&P 500, again, just a fantastic long on the 5th. Let's go look at some markets where we can trade. So let's go look at the E-minis. So the NQ, for example, again, we called for a long on this on the 6th of June. This was a fantastic trade to the upside. Blue Rum 618. Thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube, my good friend. And Eli Back, I missed something from Eli Back? Eli Back, you're one of my favorite people, man. Let me scroll up, my good dude. I did not see that, man. Eli Back, I'm so sorry, man. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, brother. He says, Justin, my man, long time no see. Hope you're enjoying your day. Please look at X Haven. I have an average buy in around 5,000. Thanks for being the best. No, thank you for being the best, my brother. Let's go look at that right now for you, man. Sorry, I missed that. XHVBTC. All right, you said you have an average buy around 5,000. So let's put a line on our chart at 5,000 sats, okay? So we are pretty much right at break even. So let's look at some things. Okay. Big volume presence coming in yesterday, pushing us up to the baseline, and we are attempting to broach the baseline right now. Volume oscillator looks quite healthy. We did get our exit signal for a previous long on this candle right here. Of course, closing below the baseline would have told us that as well. Let's look at how PTP has done with Mr. Baseline. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you, not very well. Now, let's look at this very closely. This would have been a long signal, but would we have taken this long signal? No, we would not have taken this long signal. Now, if we would have taken the trade on the pullback here, that would have just been a small loss. Had we taken the reversal off of the baseline, we would have actually, I don't think we would have even hit take profit 1 on that reversal trade off the baseline. Let's take a gander. It's a potential that we could have, because we can't use this value because we have to use this value. So it is a potential. It's a potential that we would have just hit take profit 1 on that. So that would have been about a 13% trade. About a 13% trade. I'm not going to lie to you, Eli. I don't, and of course, this is not typically setups that I'm looking at. I don't really like the way that X Haven looks. However, I will try to sift through this and just tell you what I honestly feel. We do have some fair amount of volume coming in. Now, here's the thing. Traditionally, you were going to be taught that all that volume coming in consolidation at the bottom of a market is a bullish sign. People are going to say this is whales accumulating, blah, 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 blah. However, it is unclear as to whether this is whales accumulating or whales pushing or pump and dump groups or individuals pushing the price up so that they can unload their bags because they are done with X Haven. So looking at coins from a volumetric perspective, trying to do that type of fundamental analysis, I think is overall futile because you're never going to know until after the fact whether it was accumulation or redistribution, because just in any Wyckoff cycle, you're going to have accumulation and distribution, but you're also going to have reaccumulation and redistribution based upon market conditions. So let's cut through the fat. Is this a trade I take? Absolutely not. You have an average buy of 5,000. Price is currently trading at 50.32, which means you are like at break even. So here's what I would do. I would wait and see how the daily candle closes today, because it is a potential, if you're already in a position, it is a potential that we might, just might, being a long signal, probably not today. In fact, I would guarantee you not today, but maybe tomorrow. Look where Minx is in relation to our zero line right here. Minx is below the zero line, but within static, within noise. Now, that probably doesn't mean a lot to you if you're not using Minx, but what this is saying is that when Minx crossed below the zero line, you got told to go short. And when Minx goes inside static, you are told to get out of your short, meaning conditions might be reversing to go to the upside. Now, we won't have any confirmation until price goes above the zero line and Water Explosion prints a green bar above the explosion level. So we're not getting a primary signal from WITCOUSD. We're not getting a primary signal from Minx to go long. However, the volume does look nice. The volume oscillator also confirms that there is enough gas in the tank should we get a trending signal. So you have one condition ready and you have two conditions that are getting ready, okay? Actually, you can make the argument that WITCOUSD is ready. You just need to have more momentum to the upside. So I would go ahead, if I were in your position, I would hold on to my trade unless I saw something else that I think the capital allocation would be good for. Because I don't really care two hoots about any one individual coin. If Xhaven isn't ready for me, I would just go out, trade other stuff, and just continue to scan it every single day and wait. There's no reason to just sit in Xhaven for whatever reason. I mean, you can convert your you can convert your funds into Bitcoin, into USDT, and you can just go trade other pairs, man. And I guess if for some reason you really like trading Xhaven, I would say that look at trading as a means to acquire more money. And then I would challenge you to go trade other pairs. Now, again, I don't want to make any assumptions because I'm sure you are trading other pairs. You're just curious about the Xhaven position. Average buy-in around 5,000. Most likely, we probably snagged that over here at some point in time, and we're just kind of waiting and seeing how price is going. So if this is a long-term hold for you, then I would be looking at this as a long-term hold. If it's not so from the perspective of a long-term hold, this coin does look pretty cheap. If we look at it over its price past history, we can see that it is quite low. Volume coming in could be accumulation. So again, there's a lot of boxes that would be checked for an investor looking to pick up a coin for the long term. Now, do I feel that way about Xhaven? Absolutely not. I don't do that. I don't buy coins low and try to hold them until they're high. I just trade highly liquid coins and continue moving on every single day. But as far from a trading perspective here, I would say that there is a possibility that we do get a long signal. Probably not today, but could be tomorrow, could be the day after. So throw an exponential moving average with a value of 13 on your chart. And if we close beneath it, then this is most likely rejection from the baseline. I would exit your position either at break even, a small profit, or a small loss, and then just wait for another strong signal. If we close above the exponential moving average 13, which is where we are at right now, then check back in with me tomorrow and see if price continues to trend to the upside, in which case just continue moving your stop loss up at pre-scheduled intervals. Okay, so back to traditional markets. Thank you so much again for the $5 super chat, my good friend. Thank you, Eli, back. All right, so let's go look at E-mini futures, NQ. So this is the NASDAQ on the CME E-minis. This is going to be what you're trading. If you are trading future contracts in the United States and you're an American trader, you're most likely going to be trading E-mini futures. So long signal on the 6th of June. Again, this was a trade we would have taken, and then price just continues to go very, very well to the upside. No indication to exit our position, even from RVGI. It is curling in a little bit, and we are getting a continuation long signal actually on the close of this candle. So another opportunity to go long on the NQ on the E-minis. Looking over at the S&P, this is if you are a United States citizen and you are wanting to trade the futures. If you're wanting to trade against the S&P, the Russell, the Dow, the NASDAQ, you're going to be trading E-mini futures. If you are not an American citizen or you're not from Singapore, then you're most likely going to be trading CFDs, contracts for difference, because they're more liquid and there are far less fees and you can apply leverage. So you can go long and short on a CFD. So again, same thing. The S&P gave the E-mini future for the SP gave a long signal the same day as the index did, right? Or the CFD did. So on the 5th of June, 2019, and we just continue to ride that position. Similarly, a continuation long on the S&P 500 today. So I would expect to see continued bullishness from our traditional markets as well. Looking at the Dow, the YM, this is going to be the Dow Jones Industrial Index. Futures traded on E-mini futures. Actually, this is CBOT, but whatever, I digress. So let's see here. Long again on the 5th of June, 2019. Very similar right there with the S&P. So you'd have gone long on the S&P and the Dow on the 5th. You would have gone long on the NQ on the 6th. So anybody that was scared of that position, again, another continuation long today on the Dow, on the YM. So going over to the Russell 1000 on E-minis. This is a long. Again, we called this long back here on the 6th of June 2019 as well, and the Russell continues to perform well. So very good movements coming in from our traditional indexes and their most liquid pairs to trade. Going over to crude. Now, crude has been on a down slump for quite a while. This is something that we've been calling to short as well. Now, price now doing something interesting on West Texas oil, for example. This is the CFD on Awanda, my broker. So price is coming up to the baseline right now, not closing above. Volume is quite low. Water explosion is confirming a long, but there's no long to take because there's no primary signal from Minx. However, the evolution of Minx's trajectory throughout this recent price history has been interesting. We did a double bottom. Thank you so much, Phil L, for the subscription over there on YouTube. We did a double bottom, and again, double bottoms and indicators are another thing, but I'm just trying to point it out, looking for pattern recognition, and then we made a higher low on our indicator. No divergence, and again, did you guys know that Minx does divergence too? Oh my God, it's like he just said it does everything. Although time transformation is typically better for reversals. Jeremy Bai, they are posted in the Premium Signals channel, my good friend. If you just search for parameter optimization, you'll find them. Thank you so much. Lost my train of thought. Okay, so no long signal on West Texas crude. Nothing to do quite now. Same with Bentley crude. Bentley crude looking less positive, putting in a little bit of less volatility. In fact, rejecting more sharply from the baseline as well. Shoe Money, thank you so much for the subscription, my good friend. Thank you, Jeff Hansen, man. Love you, brother. Oh, okay. I know why I'm not seeing that stuff. I do not have stream labels open. Okay, I only have the chat open, and I was wondering why I wasn't seeing announcements. There we go. To see the show. I think I need to put this here, and then I need to put this up here. Right. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. JT, Arrow Messi, Nick 30, Martha Martinez, Jimenez, Jin Young Park. Thank you guys so much for the subs over there on YouTube as well. If I missed you, know that I love you. Shoe Money. Okay. So traditional markets actually looking quite healthy, and we're even seeing crude put in a little bit of bullish activity. So, again, there are times to be long and short in all markets. This is, again, a time to be long traditional markets and be a little cautious over there in crypto world. So let's look at the VIX. VIX is down at 15.33. Volatility is perfect, man. Perfect day for day trading. Now, let's go over to Forex. If you guys have Forex requests, this is the time to put them in. And actually, I do need to move the chat now. Okay, now I think this is how I had it. That down there and that up here. Sorry, guys. A little bit of on the fly. Okay, so Euro USD. Again, Euro USD, no position. We talked about a short position actually on this candle right here. Actually, no, we did not. Sorry. Whoa, pull it on back. I'm giving myself credit for stuff that I did not call because I was on vacation that day. Sorry, just kind of get into there. Sylvan Newbie says, hey guys, I got a PTP question. When testing the initiator, all things being equal, wouldn't the price hit 1x ATR in the right direction more often than it would hit 1.5x ATR in the other direction? If you have a good initiator, yes. So if that is what's happening, then you have potentially a good initiator. You want it to happen more than the percentage that I talk about in the initiator videos and in the initiator module. So, but yeah, you would assume that, but if you have a bad initiator, then no. No, it would not. Just because our profit target is closer to our entry than our stop loss, what we're looking for is a initiator to give us the signal to buy at that price and give us the potential to hit that take profit target. Right, but the initiator does not have zero effect because the initiator is what you're looking at for a signal to go in the first place. Without the initiator, you would not know to buy at that price. So you want to know at what price to buy at and what signal is statistically likely to result in price going to your first take profit before your stop loss. Because I guarantee you will find initiators that hit their stop loss more often than their first take profit. In fact, many, many, many initiators out there do just that. They should make HODL as a cryptocurrency for when Bitcoin does a pump and a dump. So, right, so talking about like a stable coin called HODL. All right, so Euro USD was, let's throw on ATR. We talked about this as well. Euro USD signaled along on the 2nd of June that we would not have taken. We would have taken this trade on the 4th or the 5th, the pullback to the daily baseline. And then again, hitting take profit 1 on the way up out of our position. When did our VGI cross? Here. We would have been out of our position here. Again, Minx would have gotten you out here pretty much at the top. So price closing below the baseline 2 days ago. Sylvan Newbie says, I mean, if you were testing an initiator with zero effect, then you would hit 1 ATR more than 1.5 in the other direction. No, you wouldn't. Because the initiator also gives you positive bias. So, for example, if you're taking a short, then you would want to be hitting 1 ATR below you than your stop loss above you. So your initiator gives you directional bias, which is the point. Okay, so Euro USD closing below the baseline here and actually signaling a short on the 16th of June, 2019, which would have been the close of yesterday's candle. So Euro USD waking up to a short, and you're waking up to some pips in your favor right now. Let's take a look at profit targets. Let's take a look at profit targets. So 1.13, oh, sorry, no, sorry, it'd actually be right here. Let's actually open up our data window. 1.1159. We need to switch precision, sorry. To 4. Okay. Let's see here. 1160. 1160. I mean, there are currencies out there, but are also memes, for example, Dogecoin or even Potcoin. Well, yeah, it would be fun for the pump and dumpers. You said HODL should be a currency when Bitcoin pumps and dumps. I suspect that it would be a currency for pumping and dumping. So anyways, Euro USD continues to be a short. I would feel absolutely comfortable holding that short position open. Going over to the dollar yen, let's see here. Got a continuation short on the close of this candle, and you hit, did you? No, you did not. Let's see. 0335. Didn't quite hit take profit 1 on that big wick to the downside here on the dollar yen. So you're still in profit, hanging a few, I would say about 5 pips below your break-even price right now. So dollar yen continues to be a short. No reason to exit this position. Consolidation below the baseline. All right, pound dollar. Again, this was another one of those things that we talked about. Pound dollar was just one of those currencies. A pound dollar was just one of those currencies where everybody during this period in time on Forex Twitter was just going absolutely crazy to take a long position. For what reason? I don't know. For what reason? I don't know. I don't know what news came out or who tweeted what on Twitter that made everybody want to take the pound dollar long. But the big banks decided to take it to the downside, which is exactly what got signaled on this candle right here. So Minx told you to go short right here, as you well darn should have. Let's take a look over at the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar calling a short on this candle right here. Beautiful trade to the downside. Nothing to do. RVGI is not telling you to be out. I think you've probably hit 2, if not 3 take profit. That looks like probably 3 on that wick. Profit targets, so just move your stop loss to break even. Dollar CAD signals along yesterday. And price is pulling back down to the baseline, meaning the pullback is valid now. So whether you entered yesterday on dollar CAD to the long side or whether you're entering now at a better price on the pullback, Either way, price is good. Kiwi Swissy. Kiwi Swissy continues to be a nothing. Again, short trade over here on the 9th of June. And Mink's telling you to go ahead and exit your short position. RVGI is giving you no such indication yet. Dollar Swissy gave a long signal yesterday that WADA confirmed, and you're up a little bit. You're up a little bit now. Price really hasn't made its move, but that's still a valid long signal. Dollar Swissy. Euro Yen gave a short on the 13th, so right at the close of the week, and you are most likely waking up to take profit 1 being hit. Stop loss at break even. Euro Pound continues to do its thing. A little bit of consolidation here at the top. You've gotten a bunch of continuation longs that have worked out really well. Continuation long here and here. Price did pull back and then moved up. Same thing here. We got a continuation long. Price is pulling back. The pattern repeats itself. You'll be happy. Kiwi Dollar gave a short signal on this candle right here that WADA confirmed, and you got to wake up to this big fuck you candle. Kiwi Yen was short. Andrew Munn says. Let's look at NZD. NZDJPY. Oh, that's not a big fuck you candle. Come on, man. That's a regular baby candle. So we had our short on the 11th, and nothing to do right now. Nothing to do right now. All right, CAD dollar, nothing to do. Dollar Aussie remains along from the 11th. Dollar Euro actually remains along from yesterday. Dollar Yuan is now signaling a short. So price was consolidating on the dollar yuan for a while, and now a big drop to the downside. Let's see how this plays out. That is a good short signal. Everything is telling you to go. Pound CAD, nothing. Actually, continuation short being thrown up on today's candle. Gold continues to skyrocket. You even had this nice re-entry opportunity right here. Price pulling back down to the baseline, getting a continuation long on this signal. Price pulled back a little bit more, and now you are in profit on your Zao trade. Looking at palladium again, I bought some physical palladium. This was back here actually, and I'm quite happy to see palladium doing this as it should. With the uncertainty in the traditional markets right now, even with price pumping in the recent relative price action, precious metals and cryptocurrency are still going to see good appreciation due to uncertainty. Precious metals and foreign currency more so than cryptocurrency, unfortunately. And silver. Silver hasn't really taken off yet. We did get a long signal over here that was a great trade, and a continuation long on this candle that is shaping up to be a good trade so far. And you know, honestly, this is the CFD from Rwanda, so some great volume coming in, but. And especially after this big decline down to the downside. This is just this in reverse. Price is holding the baseline, and silver looks very good. Why I had that open? Anyways, okay, back to the live scene. South African Rand. Well, that's a short signal, but that is far too below the baseline to take the trade. So, hopefully you guys, again, the only trade to take here would have been a reversal trade, not one we would have caught. GLD, again, beautiful long signal right here on gold commods, and looking very well. Looking very well. RVGI got you out of the trade here. And we could have gotten back in here. And price is doing good things. CAD Yen. Short trade on the 13th. Nothing to do. Price is pulling back to the baseline, but no exit signal. And we already looked at the Kiwi Yen. So, all right, guys. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to take a quick break. And when we return, we're going to turn the tunes on. We're going to look at your requests. And we're going to talk about the news, guys. So don't go anywhere. Let's see if you are tired of getting wicked out of your position on BitMEX, if you're tired of your order not getting filled, and if just in general, you are sick of all the other BS shenanigans that occur on BitMEX, and you wonder why a professional trader like myself stopped trading on BitMEX and moved over to a better platform. That better platform is ByBit. If you guys would like to trade on the platform that I trade on, if you guys would like to participate in our trading competition, for example, you guys can make the switch as well. You can actually use our link down in the description, or you can simply go to bybit.krakencryptocurrency.com. Again, that's bybit.krakencryptocurrency.com. It's currently my favorite exchange. I really enjoy it. Can you pick up the phone and call BitMEX customer service? You can? Oh, you can do that with ByBit. Did you know that? Yes. They've got excellent customer service. They continue to push out updates every single week, and I look forward to seeing everything from there. They're also based in Singapore, which again, I look at security as the main deciding factor, liquidity, security, when I move into a new exchange. ByBit is based in Singapore, which has some of the strictest financial regulation in the world. CFDs are banned in America. Singapore is another country where CFDs are banned as well, guys. So bybit.krakencryptocurrency.com if you guys would like to trade on the exchange that we trade on. I'll be just back in a few minutes. I'll see you guys in a second. And we're back, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in with us for the break. And as promised, let's throw some tunes on. Got myself some water, drinking out of the Contigo today. Sorry for you mason jar lovers. Don't worry, the mason jar will return. Okay. Ooh, got to turn that down on my end. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so top stories for the day. Let's talk about this. Everybody's favorite, XRP. So, TLDR, XRP is buying, I believe it's 10% of MoneyGram's, 10% of all available MoneyGram shares. I believe they've promised, I think it's $4.10 per share that they're promising to enter into this partnership with MoneyGram. And in return, and make no mistake, this is I'm using the actual verbiage of what's going on, right? So MoneyGram is a failing legacy institution, okay? MoneyGram, if any of you guys have tried to send money cross-border, if any of you have tried to send remittance payments, if any of you have just tried to utilize MoneyGram, it sucks. It's a terrible platform. And the reason why it's terrible, I mean, it wasn't so terrible as opposed to wire transfers or you know, international bank transfers, wires. But it was still fairly terrible on the user end. It was expensive, there was high fees, it was slow compared to digital currency like Bitcoin, where you just literally snap your fingers and your money is there confirmed on the blockchain in about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer for additional confirmations. Or if you're using other cryptocurrency, or if you're using the Lightning Network, you're literally, your payment is there in a split second. So compared to, we already know this. Everybody that's watching this channel, or even if you're not and you're unsure, we know, or we should know, that digital currency, Bitcoin, for example, is a better medium of currency. It's a better unit of exchange. It's a better... Now, obviously, the arguments of store of value or unit of account, that's a completely separate topic. That is for economics class, which we're not going to do today. We're just going to talk about reality, and the fact is that MoneyGram is just not an efficient vehicle. It's not an efficient mechanism. It's not an efficient platform for transfer of funds to funds. Now, everybody's going to say, well, all these companies are just doing this stuff because Facebook is. Why not, man? Don't knock on a hustle, okay? The reality is that this is the revolution that everybody needs, that we do need. We need a better currency system. We need better units of monetary transfer for remittances, for country-to-country payments, for just payments in general, right? If I want to pay you to do a service for me, I would prefer, for me receiving the payment, you receiving the payment, you would want to get that money as quickly and as hassle-free and with paying as few middlemen as possible. And digital currency offer the best avenue for that over any traditional legacy system. Banks have done a fairly decent job at securing our money, but because of that, we've had centralization of power as far as our finances go. So we've got a lot of financial malfeasance due to the fact of centralized institutions. centralized banks in particular. Now, the other problem with centralized banks from a nationalistic standpoint is that they act as a medium to usurp power from the government, and the government acts as an intermediary to usurp power from the people. So anything that enhances the power of the government reduces from the power of the individual. This is the founding ethos of anarcho-capitalism. This is one of the founding ethoses of liberalism. This is one of the founding ethoses of the United States of America and every other country that followed in America's wake, to separate themselves from monarchy, to separate themselves from empireship, to separate themselves from fiefdom, although that was done away with in the Middle Ages. Moving on. I'm pretty much against any kind of system that empowers the government against individuals and that empowers institutions against individuals as well. Whereas with cryptocurrency, you have a decentralized system that works very well. And it's just a better technology. We do know that human beings over time, generally with younger generations, they adopt the best technology for the job over time. So let's get to the topic at hand. Ripple's ZERP will be used by MoneyGram for conducting cross-border payments. So this, I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read all of this, but let's just talk about what is actually happening. Ripple has decided to prop up legacy firm MoneyGram, and MoneyGram has thought that it's in their best interest to prop up legacy cryptocurrency Ripple with this partnership agreement. This is supposed to, on its face, make MoneyGram more efficient. They're going to use XRapid. They're going to use Ripple as a cross-border payment mechanism on top of cash, on top of all the other stuff they're already doing stuff with. You're still probably going to be smacked by fees, so I don't really see how this is a better solution to anything. And it just goes to show, really, how Ripple is a centralized legacy coin that is going to target legacy institutions, whereas something like Bitcoin says, we don't need those things in the first place. Why are we going to target them, right? It's never been their goal. And this is the difference between something that is truly decentralized and usable by all human beings and something like Ripple, which has a CEO and which has a board of directors and which has business interests. Now, again, from a trading perspective, those are actual fundamentals that we can now trade. Things like earnings reports, things like dividends, things that we don't really deal with in cryptocurrency that you would deal with in traditional equities, or traditional stocks, excuse me. All right, let's see here. I guess my whole take on this is that you have crappy crypto propping up crappy company. All right. So poop plus poop equals more poop. But anyways, and you know, MoneyGram has been losing money hand over fist. You know, as this article points out, they just had a disastrous earnings report. You know, their stock price is tumbling. Let's go look at the stock price of MoneyGram. And obviously, as you're always going to have, the price of Ripple putting in some appreciation. Let's go look at XRP USDT in cryptocurrency. Let's go look at the price of XRP USDT. Kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news type event. So there was a long signal that was generated on the 14th of June, 2019. If we look down at WITCOUSD, I don't believe it confirms. No, could have taken the trade on the 15th of June potentially, and most likely, yeah, definitely would have hit take profit one on that trade. Price is pulling back down to the baseline, still valid for a long, but not a trade I'd take at this point in time. If we look at XRP BTC, again, XRP's just one of those things where you're going to do a little bit of a pump and then you just pretty much continue on with the dominant move. At least that's how it's been since the last cycle, which ended in December 2018. Now, again, you guys will recall that this green box territory is actually where I did a reversal trade on XRP. So I bought here, here, and here. So I had an average entry of about right here, and I ended up selling in totality here. So I made about a 20. Averaged out, it came out to about 29% profit total on that XRP BTC trade, and I've really taken no action with XRP ever since then. And you guys will recall I rarely do predictions like this, but let's see where the back button I want to do that. But I mapped out all the cycles, all the boom and bust cycles of XRP, because it does move in cyclical patterns. And I said, by the time we hit this red line, go back and watch the tapes. I said, by the time we hit this red line, XRP is going to be down here, because a lot of people were wanting to buy it in this red box territory. Wrong place to buy it. This was the right place to buy it in the green box territory, based off of, again, discretionary support and resistance, supply and demand type trades. So I do take them every once in a while, but they are the very, very, very small percentage of trades that I take, as opposed to the more valid, reliable setups that a good system and strategy is going to give you, such as PTP. So ZERP Bitcoin not doing anything, just continuing, commencing with its dump. We'll see if we can get back down into the green box territory. So, ZERP USD putting in a little bit of appreciation over the news, and how is price responding today to the announcement, dropping 7%. Now let's go look at MoneyGram. I don't know what their ticker is right off the top of my head. Let's go to all. Let's see here. MGI on the NASDAQ, MoneyGram International. Now, as opposed to XRP, look at what MoneyGram has done off of the tails of this announcement. Let me make sure that that is the right. Let me make sure that that is the right stock. Yeah, MoneyGram International Inc. MGI stock price. Yes. Okay. Good. So, MoneyGram popping up, MGI, excuse me, gapping up over 100%. So anybody that got MGI last week, as you can see, this accumulation that was going on underneath the baseline, price hitting a bottom, pulling up to the baseline, rejecting. Individuals who bought MoneyGram waking up to a very nice type of gain. You don't see stuff like this in the stock market on a regular basis. So this is a pretty fantastic little trade for anybody that swooped up some MoneyGram. So good for MoneyGram so far, but here's the reality. Is this going to start a genuine bullish movement for MoneyGram beyond this big small pump? I don't want to say small pump, but just short-term pump, right? Large price appreciation, short time frame. It's hype. In my opinion, it's hype. Now, we'll watch this, and this is tradable just like any other asset, and you can just see it. MoneyGram has been on the decline since April of 2017. Just huge, in a huge slow slump. So it doesn't surprise me that individuals, or that something like this would happen. You're always going to get news that justifies market behaviors after the fact. This is one of those few situations where a lot of people bought up on the hype. Andrew says, well, I'm going to sell my bags. Sell them, man. Get rid of them. Fertilize the lawn with them. So, actually, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty impressed by that market behavior, by that bullish price appreciation coming in from MoneyGram International on the stock. But I don't think it's going to lead to a sustained movement. I think we're going to see a pullback. I think we're going to see the gap get filled. Now, again, we could enter into a short-term bullish trend. We could even enter into a long-term bullish trend. But fundamentally, do I think that this actually has staying power? I do not. I think that MoneyGram is a legacy company on the way out, and I think that Ripple is a legacy coin probably on the way in. I'm not going to lie. Ripple's going to continue to be powered by its board of directors and its CEO. It's going to continue to do things that are going to increase the price of ZERP. So I understand it from an investment standpoint. Do I think that it is the best technology for the job? No, I don't. Does that mean that it can't play a role in the ecosphere? No, but I don't have to be very happy about it. Okay, let's move along. Okay, so this is about Libra coin. Let's get into it. Now, obviously the news today is Libra coin's white paper did launch today, so you guys can go over to Libra.org. Now, let's talk about this because Libra coin is not actually owned by Facebook. Okay, so it's not actually Facebook coin, okay? So Libra is a non-profit organization out of Geneva that Facebook had founded, okay? So it is Libra that actually owns Libra coin. And Libra does other stuff besides the development of Libra coin, which is going to be the name of Facebook's coin. It's not global coin, it's Libra coin. So this is their white paper, and I wanted to have this all read. I have not read it all today yet. So I'm going to withhold my comments until tomorrow's show when I actually consume the entire white paper, and I'll have a little bit more information for you guys then, hopefully. Is XRP the new BConnect? Could be. But I want to go over to this article from George McDonough, and I don't know actually how to pronounce that. McDonough. Anyways, it depends. So he is the CEO and co-founder of KR1 PLC. This is a London-listed cryptocurrency and a blockchain investment company. So what this individual is basically inferring, and I actually quite agree with him, is the fact that the Libra coin is, obviously we know this, not decentralized in any way, shape, or form. And the problem is that Libra coin, being a founded company and being a registered company, is going to have to comply with all forms of regulation. And their answer to decentralization or validators is completely meaningless, right? So the cost to be a validator for Libra coin payments is $10 million in US dollars. There is a blah, 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 blah. There are 28 confirmed validators. Let's go see who those validators are. I know it's a lot of other companies, Stripe, MasterCard, PayPal. I'll find the list later. But the point is that those companies are registered as well. They're all going to have to deal with regulation. So here's the difference between what Libra coin is going to be able to do and what Bitcoin, the way that Bitcoin works. Libra coin is going to be able to freeze your payments. Libra coin is going to be able to deny you service if they want. They're going to be able to censor you. They're going to be able to restrict your payments. They're going to be able to control what you can and can't do if they want to, right? So that option is going to exist. All right, is that going to be publicly marketed? Is that going to be, yeah, we're in control, that's one of the back ends? No, but you just have to understand that with any centralized coin, they're going to be able to control and deny service to whoever they want. So as opposed to Bitcoin, which is decentralized, you can't do that. So Bitcoin is the better technological solution to cross-border payments because you need something that can be as easily utilized by poor people as by rich people, as by legitimate individuals, and as by criminals, because that is why the United States dollar, for example, has been such a convenient medium of exchange, because it is easily accessed, it is easily used, it is easily, for the most part, compared to physical things as opposed to gold, for example, it is easily transported, blah, 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 blah. So, let's see here. Yeah, Libra's supporting corporations include eBay, Visa, Uber, and PayPal. And they are doing this, according to this article, and I agree, they are doing this for one reason, and that is data. Data is the new gold. Data is the new resource to mine on individuals. When you understand people's data, what they're really doing is they're creating basically a template, a neural network of human individuals, AI. That's Google's ultimate plan. I think Facebook's as well. However, it's all about control and knowing data. He who knows the data, he who knows more, defeats his enemy. Refer to Sun Tzu's The Art of War. The battle is won before the battle begins. The war is won before the battle begins, because the battle is all about preparation and knowing your enemy more than you know yourself. If you know your enemy more than you know yourself, and this analogy applies to the market as well, if you understand the market, if you understand how you are going to behave in the market better than you know yourself, you're going to have success in the market. If you do not plan, if you do not strategize, then you're not going to have a winning victory. And what is the new goal of the modern digital age? It's data. It is information. He who owns information controls power. Governments want information more than they want sometimes weapons of war, for example. Look what we're able to do. I mean, a lot of the wars, a lot of the proxy wars, like for example, the Cold War, for example, which was a proxy war, they're fought nowadays digitally with espionage. They're fought today technologically with control over companies. They're fought economically. So it's all information and power. It's all leverage. So we know that Facebook, and obviously this is just coming on the tails of the, what is the name of that? That scandal where Facebook was getting information, blah, blah, blah. You guys know what I'm talking about. Facebook is in full cover-up mode from that scandal and basically from them coming under fire. But again, Zuckerberg handled it pretty well. Zuckerberg went on Capitol Hill, talked to Congress, said, hey, we're going to get our shit together. It's all good. Don't have to worry about anything. And now they're coming out with Libra coin. So they already had plans to do this in the first place. But what they're really going to be looking at here, their profit potential from this is not only going to be having the secure basket of investments to be able to apply. They don't really care about that. They would be totally fine not making any money off the stablecoin money itself. They're interested in data and selling your data. They're going to know, they're going to be able to track how much money you have, what you buy, what your purchasing habits are more directly. Now, they can control your advertising and kind of see some of your purchases that you make. But again, everything's run through different clients. Everything's run through different payment processors. So it's not like they have a direct feed on that information. It's more complicated for them. When they own the coin that you are using to make all your digital transactions, you're using it to make all your purchases online, they're going to have a full wealth of information of exactly what your spending patterns are, of exactly how much money you have, again, everything that I just listed. And that is what they're really after. That's what Facebook is really after. They are after information. They are after data. They are after data to sell. They are after data to profit off of. I fully believe that all these technology companies leverage governments and sell private information to governments as well as other individuals and corporations and companies as well. And then those companies and corporations and governments use that information to further their own means and ends. So now let's see here. I'm just going to go ahead and read a quote from this. He says, let's cut to the chase. Facebook is doing this for one reason, and that's data. It will be spun as banking the unbanked, revolutionizing payments and connecting the world. But don't be fooled. This move into the murky world of crypto is all about tapping new wells of data, the modern day oil. No doubt there will be plenty of assertions over privacy protection and decentralized hand waving, but this is all about Facebook enriching its reservoirs of data, knowing who you are, what you're buying, who you're paying, and how much you have. This is why Facebook's Libra will not compete with Bitcoin, but rather validates the underlying blockchain technology more than ever. Bitcoin is open, borderless, permissionless, censorship-resistant, publicly verifiable, and immutable. Facebook's coin cannot be any of these things because Facebook is a corporation. They have to exist within jurisdictions and comply with every rule ever devised by the legacy financial system, including vetting every participant. And unlike Bitcoin's blockchain, Facebook cannot be neutral in regard to who is using its system. Let's see here. Further, adding a consortium of global companies as validators does nothing to decentralize the system. All the validators are known and as such can be fully leaned on to adhere to the pressures that exist from the global financial system. So, he further goes on in this article to state that since Facebook, based on what we just talked about, is not really out to get Bitcoin, Facebook coin is not, Libra coin is not directly participating with Bitcoin because it physically, technologically cannot, it socially cannot. Who is it competing with? It's competing with the banks. Banks are the next legacy system that are on their way out because of all the problems that we've talked about so many times on this show. Centralization of power, enriching of government, malfeasance, and overall, they're slow, old. They're just not a good system. Now, the only thing that in my estimation, and again, this is an argument we've had around the office a little bit, the only estimation that banks provide over to a slight degree is interest payments. Now, you can say that that's taken away a little bit because of the volatility of cryptocurrency. But again, when you're looking for the safer, secure option, you're looking for a savings account, for example, with a legacy bank to deliver interest payments. Now, again, some people are going to sneeze at that and say that you barely beat inflation. But however, 2 to 4, again, it's common 2.39%. That's not nothing to sneeze at, especially if you have $1 million. So interest payments is something that individuals with lots of money just generally make their living off of. When you have money, you use money to provide money for yourself. You use money to create more money. That's what I do as a professional trader. So let's see here. All right, so they're talking about banks here. To one side of them, there's the open source borderless Bitcoin growing in adoption every day. And on the other is Facebook with their 2.3 billion users. Banks are being squeezed by two hugely powerful forces. And remember, Facebook have built a global phenomenon through reinventing what we've come to understand as a user experience. What they've done with interfaces, they're going to do with money. And in that arena, the banks don't have a chance. Want a loan? Ask Zuckerberg. Want a credit card? Ask Zuckerberg. Everything will be at the click of a button on a platform that literally 30% of the planet's population are using. So I'm interested to see how Libra coin deals with these things moving forward. Are we going to have interest bearing savings accounts for Libra coin deposits? That is the only thing that currently legacy banks have over this concept so far, which is the security, the track record of interest payments. Okay, and for individuals who are investors, that's very, very, very important. I know individuals who have their money, they have a lot of money in checking accounts, and that's the dumbest thing for them to do. They should take almost all of that money, and if they're not going to do anything else, at least put it in a savings account, so at least they're earning interest. There are corporate accounts that you can get with more lucrative interest accounts, especially if you are a higher capital client. So, all right, so that is obviously the big kind of news. Again, I'm going to read the Libra white paper, and I'll have far more information for you guys tomorrow. Now, next on the agenda, and I think this might be the last one that we go over, and this is just realistic, and I know this from my colleagues in the Forex world. I know this from the traders that I advise as well on Forex trading. More Forex traders are directing their attention to crypto transactions in the interest from Forex exchanges and brokers into cryptocurrency is continuing to rise. I already know for 100% fact that large exchanges, like for example, my broker, are actively looking into adding cryptocurrency onto their platform. Now, whether you're dealing with a dealing desk broker or an ECN is going to be a little bit different. And then obviously there's going to be non-dealing. Anyways, How exactly brokers decide to kind of handle this as far as spreads, as far as commissions, is something to be seen. But typically what we've seen from brokers that do offer cryptocurrency already is that you pay almost no spread or no spread at all, and almost no commission or no commission whatsoever. Now that I expect will change a little bit, because with a broker, you're going to get a little bit more added security, or at least people would think that you would, based on the fact of what a broker is. They're insured, they're bonded, they're licensed, they have to deal with regulation, they're compliant. And again, that is typically, when I talk to individuals who are new to investing in cryptocurrency or new to trading, that is their biggest concern, as it should be, for example, which is, if I put a lot of money into crypto, I'm okay. Like, I understand if I do something dumb and lose money, but I want to be able to put it somewhere that I know that they can't do something dumb and lose money as well. And that is one of the biggest concerns. And that is a valid concern, because if you are going to put a lot of money into cryptocurrency, you want to make sure that wherever it is being custodied is secure. And this is one of the biggest problems with cryptocurrency. I think this is largely going to be solved over the next 5 to 10 years, because I think that we're going to see advanced financial instruments which are completely designed around securing underlying assets. So, for example, you can get, I think in the future, we're going to have insurance on cryptocurrency payments, just like we have insurance on life, just like we have insurance on life policies, on health, everything that you could possibly think of. You have FDIC, you have money insurance, you have renter's insurance, you have home insurance, you have safety deposit box insurance. I mean, you name it, there's insurance for just about anything that you could want out there. I think that we're going to see, and it's a no-brainer idea for me. So if you've been waiting for your $1 million idea, boom, I just gave it to you. Go start a cryptocurrency insurance company. I think that that's $1 billion idea right there. So, but more Forex traders and exchanges. This article doesn't really talk about exchanges or brokers, which is really where I focus on, because if you see the interest coming from the brokers and from the exchanges, then the traders are going to follow suit, because most people just kind of do what their brokers and exchanges tell them to do, whether they realize it or not. So more and more traders are focusing their attention on crypto transactions for a lot of reasons. We have had a lot of previous Forex traders join the Kraken Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group, because for a large portion, over the majority of 2019 and the latter half of 2018, a lot of volatility just got sucked out of the Forex markets. Why? Because cryptocurrency was getting ready to make its move. Now, I don't think that's a direct correlation, but I definitely do think it is a correlation. And I've gone over those reasons before as well. However, for cryptocurrency, certain markets are highly liquid, they are lucrative to trade, they are more volatile, they are cheaper, they are faster, and anybody who is an active trader in Forex, I don't understand why they're not over there trading cryptocurrency as well. They should be. They go hand in hand. And again, I think that a lot of cryptocurrency traders would be well served by going over and trading some Forex as well, for example, because you can have the nice benefit, right? You shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. You should have a diversified portfolio that not only applies to your investment strategy, but it should also apply to your trading strategy. There are so many people who have come into cryptocurrency and actually do show good promise and skill as a trader, but they just cannot get away from the concept of they're not allowed to trade Forex, or they're not allowed to trade equity. You absolutely can. Go check out E-mini futures. Go check out a Forex broker. If you want to use a Wanda, for example, go to just go to awanda.com. That's the broker that I use. If you are not American like I am, then you can trade CFDs. You can go long or short. You can access leverage. And if you don't want to use a Wanda, that's totally fine. I don't get any benefit for you guys going and using a Wanda. I'm not an IB. I'm not an introducing broker. So I get absolutely no benefit. But that's just the broker that I use. It's a broker I've liked for a long time. Pretty much, honestly, though, nowadays, all brokers are going to be exactly the same, and that's whether they're dealing desk brokers or whether they're ECNs or whether they're non-dealing desk brokers. They're pretty much all going to be the same. The spreads are almost all the same. The commissions work themselves out because of the spreads. It's just whatever broker you decide to use, just go look for the big ones. Don't get janky fly-by-night brokers, just like you shouldn't trade on janky fly-by-night cryptocurrency exchanges. So I digress. A lot of volatility, a lot of crypto. It makes a lot of sense for them to be coming over into the space, and we welcome you with open arms. And I would expect the same thing from Forex markets. You guys should be welcoming cryptocurrency traders with open arms. Okay, let's see here. I guess I'm gonna have to fix that in a little bit. Sometimes these things happen. Okay, so we talked about MoneyGram. Now let's go to the requests. All right, and I had them written down somewhere. No, it was Zcash, PIVX, and Basic Attention Token. Okay, so we'll look at Zcash first. Okay. All right, Zcash looking not bad at all today. Let's talk about Zcash. Okay, so let's see here. We would have gotten a continuation long on this candle. That would have been a losing trade. And then a long signal on this candle that we would not have been able to take on this candle because it was too far above our qualifying line, as you guys can see. Let's go throw that on. Plot for longs. As you can see, this candle on the 11th closes above our qualifying line, but then we are allowed to take this trade on this candle or on, actually, valid. This is discretionary PTP all day long. You could have taken any of these trades or the pullback to the baseline. Either way, trade doing quite nicely, up 20%. You got this long signal that you should have been able to enter into on anywhere in here, and then currently getting a continuation long on this candle right now. So I think Zcash looks absolutely fantastic. Zcash was a trade we called. Let's see here. I don't believe it's an open position at this point in time. Don't think we called the discretionary, but again, anybody utilizing PTP can spot the correct discretionary setups just like this. Okay. And looking good. And this is a valid re-entry on this continuation long right here. So let's wait and see how the daily candle closes. And if everything is valid as well, that's a good go. That is a good go. All right. Going to, let's talk about, I think people always want, let's look at targets. Okay, so let's assume that one would have taken the most traditional entry and entered on the immediate pullback, which means you've already hit take profit 1, take profit 2, and take profit 3. You are fully out of that trade. You actually caught, let's draw a line right there. And let's also check the data window to qualify, make sure that I'm not wrong. Rodrigo ATR, we're gonna bump that precision up to 8. And as you can see, take profit 3 was 0.01242,935. And the high of this candle was 0.01243.2. So yes, you would have hit take profit 3 beautifully. You'd be out of your position. If you would have entered on this candle, for example, then you would have hit take profit 1, 2, and 3 as well, quite beautifully, and doing well. Now, entering into a trade now would be giving you take profit targets of around not 1276, not 1355, not 1435. With a stop loss around not 108. Not 108. Okay. Zach. PIVXBTC. Looking at PIVX, the Bitcoin pairing. Does not look good to me. Price is below the baseline. WADATAR is bearish. Volume oscillator is down. Volume is low, below the volume moving average. Minx is giving no signal. There is nothing to do with PIVX. Where would I be interested in trading PIVX? When PIVX is trending, when it is above the baseline and throwing bullish signals. Basic attention token. Basic attention token to the BTC pair does not look bueno to me. Volume is good, but volume below the baseline is not what you want to see, because that is selling volume. You don't want selling volume. You want buying volume if you're going to enter into something long, which BAT, I believe, is the way I trade it. I don't trade on Bitfinex, so. All right, so. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. And I like Basic Attention Token. I really do like their, well, I like Brave Browser. I like what Basic Attention Token is trying to do. I think they have a good fundamental project, but this is not a good looking chart. Just because something is cheap does not make it a good buy. It was not a good buy here. It's not a good buy here, and it's probably not a good buy here. It will be a good buy when we actually cross and close above our baseline and give a trending signal, just as we do when we finally go from, let's see, we're in BS mode, we cross and close above and stay above, here, here. Let's see. This was a little chop. Wadatar kept us out. And here. So, yeah, basic attention token does not look good, guys. Wadatar is low. Volume oscillator's heading below the 0 line. Now, RVGI is telling you to go ahead and get up on out of any short position that you may have been in. So we can actually see a short signal on basic attention token right here on the 9th of June. We talked about that at the time, I do believe. And price has had a big drop off, sideways consolidation, wicks to the downside and upside. Doesn't mean anything. It's no trade to get into. Looking at XRP, sure. Now, XRP, on the other hand, looks good. And this is something that you guys I want to point out. When Bitcoin dominance rises, okay, when Bitcoin dominance rises and Bitcoin to USD is rising, you want to be looking at your alt to USD values, I think, first, and then your alt to BTC values second. Because if Bitcoin USD is going up and the entire crypto market in general is bullish, then you're going to get better signals for your coin on the USD pairing or the USDT pairing. That's why I like to start my scan after going through ByBit and BitMEX pairs. When I get over to Binance, I look at tether pairs first. And sometimes, and this is a concept that we're working on developing. We'll talk about that later. I don't want to feed too much fish to the fire. But you always want to be aware of the multiple opportunities that you have in front of you. Alt to Bitcoin pairings are going to take dives, and sometimes you don't need to use that intermediary to take the trade to the upside. You know, you have to look at very carefully, like, what are you actually trading on? What movement, what market dynamic are you relying on for price to appreciate? So when you take an altcoin to Bitcoin trade, you are betting that Bitcoin's price stays stable or goes down and that the altcoin becomes more valuable against that cryptocurrency, against Bitcoin. Now, is that the safest trade? I don't know. Not often. I mean, just look at what USD and USDT pairs have generally done throughout the cycle, and they've generally performed better than BTC pairs. Again, everything goes through its cycles, right? This market is moved by whales. So you're going to see tether pairs almost always stay bullish in a bullish market cycle, but have their periods of pump and dump as well. But you're going to see Bitcoin pairs typically move in cycles. You're going to see large SAT coins pump, mid SAT coins pump, and low SAT coins pump. I don't think it has really anything to do with market cap. I literally think it has to do with the amount of Satoshis or how valuable the coin is compared to Bitcoin, because that is how they seem to pump. That is how money seems to cycle through the market cap. And I've watched this time over time. So XRP, let's take a gander here, my good friend. Let's throw on Quadriga ATR. And again, long signal on the 11th of June that we would not have taken. So we could have bought the pullback on the 12th of June, 2019, because we do cross back within our buy zone. And we have nothing but bullish price appreciation. We've hit take profit 1, take profit 2, and take profit 3 on that movement up. We would be out of our position. Now, we did get a continuation long yesterday on the close of yesterday's candle. I don't see any indication to take the trade now. And also, this big volume spike on the current daily does concern me slightly, because typically you see a lot of volume come in here at the beginning of a trend, and then you typically see a lot of volume come in at the end of a trend, or at least that it could be a sign of a potential pullback. So you typically want to see a volume proceeding on low volume, or excuse me, a trend proceeding on low volume, not high volume. You kind of want to get when you start seeing that. All right. Look at the basic attention token in Zcash and PIVX and BAT and all the above. I will look at one more. RND BTC? You mean RDN? Raiden Network? Yeah, I don't think RND is one. You mean Raiden? B-Flow? I'm going to assume you mean Raiden. Raiden does not look bueno to me, man, if we're talking about Raiden. No, it is not. Crypto King. Minx is not a version of accumulation distribution. In fact, Minx is not based off of any regular indicator. I completely wrote the mathematics myself. They are derivatives of price action. They are moving averages of price action that are weighted against one another. So yeah, Minx is not actually based on any other indicator other than moving averages. Let's see, VetBTC. VeChain looks terrible. Short signal right here to the downside and below the baseline. Nothing to take long on this. Now, I don't know if you can short VeChain on Finex, but I wouldn't right now. I wouldn't do anything right now. Minx just crossed back into static, so that's a no trade zone. All right, guys. So with that being said, I think it's about time. Ted over here. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, my name is Justin Wise. I've been your host, lead analyst, and senior mentor at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. And just thank you guys. I hope you guys go on to have a very safe and wonderful day. Now, as a trader, I use a lot of professional tools, all right? I use my own custom spreadsheets. I use my own custom indicators. I trade directly on ByBit and BitMEX, for example, when I am using those platforms. But when I take trades on Binance, I use one tool, and that tool is 3 commas. 3 commas is the best, absolutely needed, absolute necessity if you're going to trade the frequency of trading that I do, if you trade the preponderance of trades or coins that I trade, if you want access to the largest market cap. Now, obviously, we know that Binance is not the only exchange that's going to work directly with 3 commas. You can also plug in Bittrex. You can plug in, I do believe, Wabi. And again, if we're going to be moving to trading on Wabi, boom, there you go. So if you guys would like to use the tools of a professional and actually have advanced trading tools to help you conquer the market, for example, trailing stop losses, setting your stop loss and take profit simultaneously, trailing buys, conditional buys based off of TradingView indicators. You can even plug in our proprietary indicators, for example, like Minx and time transformation, and actually automate that buying and selling process as well over on 3 commas. So you guys can go to 3commas.crackingcryptocurrency.com. You will get a free trial if you're interested in using 3 commas if you use my link. Again, that's 3commas.crackingcryptocurrency.com. So, are you often busy and miss the live show? If you do, or if you are, or if such is true in your situation, grammar is one of those things that works sometimes, but not all the time, then you should check out the podcast of the show, the Breaking Bitcoin podcast. Scott has been working very, very hard, and it is still currently in our beta rollout phase. You guys can go to breakingbitcoin.crackingcryptocurrency.com and see the current and past show notes. Currently, we're on Google Music. Google Podcasts are now showing up under Cracking Cryptocurrency. We'll get that fixed later. We're on Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean. All are live. All seem to be working fine. We've got iTunes, iHeartRadio, and a few more coming soon as they are approved. Let us know if you have a favorite podcast catcher that you would like us to add our show to, or you can try adding it yourself by manually clicking on the RSS feed on the Breaking Bitcoin show page. Again, that's breakingbitcoin.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Make sure to leave us some positive reviews and comments because that does help boost us and gets this information in front of people that I think is so important for people to see. So, that's all. If you are new to the show, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, make sure to subscribe and share us around to your family and friends, especially people you don't even like. And for those of you watching on Twitch and D Live, of course, there is a beautiful follow button up there and a lovely Twitch loyalty badge. If you guys would like to hit that sub icon, we highly appreciate the support and your patronage, guys. So, until tomorrow, trade safely, and I will catch you guys in the next video.